And today it's time to take a look at the foot pegs on the Ferris build. And I've brought along some help for that. And to demonstrate the problem, please take a seat. As you can see, you're sitting with your knees in a bit sharp angle. The foot pegs are a bit high, at least that's my experience with my long feet. So thank you very much. Thank you for the demonstration. So what I want to do is to lower the foot pegs. And you can see that it's not too hard. I can just place them down there. And I can make a new bracket here and utilize the two existing holes there. But for now, to test it, I will just temporarily put it here. It's a bit further behind that I'm going to accomplish, but let's try that just for testing purpose. So let's see how this works. Yeah, it's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so. So let's just compare. This is with the original foot peg location. This is how it is lowered. Much better. Thank you very much. So then it just gets started with some cutting, grinding, welding, the usual stuff. The bracket is done. The only thing left now is to weld on the foot peg. But first, let me explain something. This is the original exhaust position. This is not the stock exhaust, it's an aftermarket exhaust, but the location is where the original one. As you can see, the exhaust goes above the brake pedal and under the foot peg, like this. So with the original exhaust, it's pretty much impossible to lower the foot pegs. So what I've done is built my own exhaust, and you can see that in a separate video series how I did it. The brake pedal gets in conflict with my new exhaust. So I need to slim down the brake pedal, and it's not pretty anyway, so I want to make a slimmer one anyway. And of course, when I have the exhaust coming out here, I can easily replace the foot pegs. So I have then a challenge, not only placing the foot pegs, but also making a new brake pedal. Let me just demount this original stuff. So what I will do is to replicate this one. Maybe even cut off this and reuse this. This bracket is of no use for me. I have made a different solution. So instead of this bracket, I have made a spacer that I can put in between here. So this one goes in here, and this goes like this. And I have also prepared one pipe that slides in here, and a second one that goes on the outside of it. It's a bit tight, not much clearance here, so I need to put everything back together in the correct order. And now this rotates, so I can, similar as this one, I can weld on some kind of feature here, so I can get this pedal, and then this one goes like this. So then I put a marking. I will make a couple of spot welds here, do some fine adjustment, but I will be going to my welding bench. Be right back. And here you can see the left side is the original one, and on this side I have positioned it a bit backwards on the bike. As you can see, it's pointing a bit like this. That's why I only tacked it on so far. So let's see if I can bend it a bit. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Then I need to take everything off again and do the proper weld, and then I will also do some rounding off the edges here, trying to make it a bit more pretty. So welding it now all together. I will not be needing your help now, so you are dismissed. Go! So, the bracket for the foot peg is done. Rounded the corners, tested it, looks nice. While I was at it, I also created the new brake pedal. I started out with this rusty piece of metal, sliced it up, and cut it to the appropriate size. I bent it. The template for it is actually from the gear shifter. Here you can see the gear shifter, and I've tried to replicate the layout so it will be similar on the other side. So this is for the gear and this is for the brake. So my plan is to, I took this pipe and pressed it flat in my vise. So it will go like this, and I also made this small lid to put on the end. And then I will use, I have a lot of these O-rings I never get used, so I will put on the O-rings here, fill it up, and hopefully this will look similar to this gear shifter. Hopefully this will work. If not, I better cut it away and buy a rubber stuff and put on here. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so I'm more or less prepared to put everything together. I also made this bracket. I mentioned earlier that maybe I would reuse the original foot peg bracket stuff back here, but I thought maybe I could just make my own, so I made one that is similar. So I will weld this on now. All the pieces comes together. I think maybe it's easier if I show it on the bike, and yeah, just do some testing now before welding everything together. So all the pieces are now made. The only thing left is to weld the last critical weld, where I join the brake pedal to the braking mechanism bracket. I've used a lot of different stuff here to try to get it into the right position. Would have been nice to have some help here now, but the help is never around when you really need it. Okay, I will put on the weld here, and let's hope it works. Fingers crossed. It's pretty hard to see anything under here. I need a flashlight. Okay, it's time to see if this holds. I think I made it to stick, but exciting times. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, it does. Looks promising, but I better take everything apart, put on some more spot weld so it's not falling off. Be right back. Change of plan. I am back, but I thought maybe I should wrap it up, so this video is not gonna be 5,000 hours long. So, I did a couple of spot weld, tested it. Yeah, everything seems to be nice. Then I figured out I had forgotten to make a tab for the spring that is going to make sure that the lever is not, or the pedal is not flopping around. So what I did all the welding all around, all the pieces, and I also added this tab on like the inner part of the pedal, so I can attach the spring to it. So, and then I went over with my sandblaster and smoothed everything out, and yeah, I think it's time to do the final installation and testing. And yes, I know you are back there. You are gonna help me soon, so yeah, just be patient. Let us put everything back together here. I also did a small tweak. This inner cylinder, I made it so I could put a O-ring on each end. And I will, of course, everything has to be rust protected here. I will use lubricant oil inside of here, grease. And then I hope that this oil ring will seal it, so this goes smooth up and down without this being like metal against metal. Yeah, hope that will work. But let's put on this O-ring and see if the result is okay. So I will just put on the first one. I actually hadn't enough of one type, so I have two different types, one large and one smaller. So I will take one out of each. Perhaps it's time for a time lapse. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. It's a bit gray now. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint this black or silver. Time will show. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Okay, I think it's time to test it on the bike. Let's do it. So that's it. The foot peg and the brake pedal is fixed. And of course I need to do the same on the other side as well, but that will be for another day. The only thing left now is to test it, so come on. Yeah, great, the brakes works, and maybe you should test the durability. Yeah, seems to be okay. Thank you, and thank you.
Yeah.